So I decided to do a video on what I would do if I was single again. You know, what I would do differently. Not necessarily what I would do differently, but kind of what I did that helped me as a single person and what I wished I did when I was single. So in today's video, as you can already tell from the title, we're going to be talking about what I will do differently or what I will do if I was single again. So if you're interested in this topic, definitely keep watching. Hello beauties, welcome back to the channel. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Yemi and this channel is all about inspiring you to own your life, live up to your potentials and to be your best self. You guys know I'm not single, I'm married. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm married. I'm a young married woman with two boys. Yeah, so anyway, Valentine's Day is coming and I was kind of like doing a bit of a flashback to my single days, and I realized that I wasn't really excited about Valentine's Day, and that was because my single days, you know, when I was single, my single days was much longer than my dating period. You know, I already have a video on my channel where I talked about dating in my 20s. That video is just full of story times, you know, my entire dating experience when I was in my 20s. And yeah, you should check that out. If you have not seen the video, I'm going to put the link in the description box and also in the card so that you can check it out. I got a lot of relationship questions after that video, but I don't really talk much about relationship on this channel. I do that more on my podcast channel, the Truth and Tales podcast. I do that. So if you want to hear more of my insights on relationships, then you should go to the Truth and Tales podcast. I'll also leave the link in the description box. So anyway, enough talking. I feel like our single days, I feel like your single days, because I'm no longer single, you know, I feel like your single days is full of opportunity and time and a lot of things that you need to know that would help you as a single person and even when you eventually get to be in a relationship. So yes, I just want to share some of my insights, some of the things I wish I did differently and some of the things that actually helped me when I was single. I think for me, the first thing I would do if I was single again is to be friends with myself, right? I would love myself to the point that I will be comfortable with myself. I would love myself to that point that I would be my own best friend. I would enjoy my own company. I wouldn't mind being single. I wouldn't see singleness as a thing that I need to get rid of quickly. I wouldn't see myself hopping into any relationship just because I want to be in a relationship, just because I dread singleness, right? So, and that is something that I did while I was single as well. And I think it's something that really helped me. I was so in love with my singleness. Like, I wasn't really interested in being in a relationship. And if you've seen that video where I talked about dating in my 20s, I was so quick to let go of relationship that I did not like. Like, if somebody forgets my birthday, I would probably break up with you. I'm not saying you should do that, but I was quick to let go of relationship that I felt like it wasn't right for me. So I think as a single person, I think it's very important to love yourself, to get to know yourself. And it's not just staying by yourself and just saying, oh, I want to be alone just for the sake of saying it. But, you know, to spend that time getting to know yourself and understand yourself better. I feel like there are times that a person is the right person for you, is the right fit for you, that relationship is good for you. But because you don't know yourself enough, you don't understand yourself enough, you end up doing things that will, you know, crash the relationship or things that will make the relationship end in a bad way. For example, I got to realize that when I'm ovulating, I'm very angry. Like when I'm ovulating, I'm a lot, like the jokes I take when I'm not ovulating, when I'm ovulating, I won't take them, you know? I'm just very cranky, and I know that it's different for every woman. Sometimes it's when you're on your period. For some people, it's when they're on their period. For some people, it's after their period. Like there's just this time it's just natural. Your hormones are just hyper that at that time anything that comes to you is just so offensive. And you know, if you don't know that about yourself, even when the guy is a great guy or your friend is a great friend or anything, you just at that period, anybody that encounters you will just feel like, oh, this person is a bad person. Like anybody that I meet when I'm ovulating, when I'm cranky, they'll just be like, this girl is just one kind girl, you know, she's just very angry and all of that. But it's just because of that period, something that I may not necessarily know and I don't have a control over. But when you know that at this period of your period you react a certain way, you're able to control it and you're able to get to, you know, express yourself better. And that's just one example on getting to know yourself. Another thing about, you know, getting to know yourself and understanding yourself as a single person is the fact that you get to understand what drives your decisions, what drives how you react, how you behave. You get to understand your personality better. I remember that while I was single, when I was much younger, in fact, way younger, I think I probably have finished secondary school at the time. Yes, I probably finished secondary school at the time because this particular experience I'm about to share with you happened while I was waiting to get admission. Something that happened to me, an experience that happened to me that changed my perspective on who I want to end with, like who I want to get married with, when I eventually get married, at the time. So I made a decision when I was much younger, way younger, that I wasn't going to end up getting married to a Muslim. Like I wasn't going to get married to somebody who we don't share the same religion. So if I was practicing Muslim, I would get married to a Muslim. If I was practicing Christianity, I'd get married to a Christian. Because at the time, I wasn't really firm in my faith. I was a Christian, but I wasn't really firm in my faith. But I knew that I wasn't going to get married to a Muslim because at the time, I was more of a Christian than I was a Muslim. And that's because my dad is a Muslim, but we didn't grow up with the Muslim tenets. Is that the word now? I didn't grow up with, the Islamic practices. We grew up being a Christian. My mom is a Christian, and my other moms are Christians as well. So I just grew up with Christianity as my religion, okay? So that was one of the basics for me making that decision that I don't want to get married to a Muslim, because my dad is a Muslim, my mom is a Christian, and every time we would go to church without my dad, and I didn't really like it. But one experience that actually hit it on that really made that decision sink deep into myself, that I didn't even know that it was that firm in my mind until when I, became much more older and I was making decisions on who to date and all of that. And it was because this particular Sunday we were attending an Anglican church at the time. So in the Anglican church at the time, they usually do this family Thanksgiving at the end of every month or at the beginning of the month. I can't remember clearly now. So you and your family, so we have a designated time for like a schedule or something that the families in the church would come and give Thanksgiving in church, right? So I usually see families, father, mother, and their children and their friends dance behind them in front to the altar, and then they get blessed and all of that. It was such a big deal for me that we couldn't do it. And I remember that my mom couldn't do it because there was a time I even thought that we should register for this thing. We should, we should be more active in church and, get to do this thing because I really liked it, If you know me, I'm all about vibes. I'm all about being PPP. I don't know the word for that, but I really told her that, okay, let's go, let's do this as well. And she was like, no, she would feel shy not doing it without her husband. And so we never got to do that because she didn't want to do it without her husband. And that day was when I decided that I was not going to get married to a Muslim, right? And that was because, and I'm saying this because I was self-aware. I wasn't really my self-awareness wasn't this deep at the time, compared to that time, but I was a bit self-aware because I was always with myself. I enjoyed spending time with myself. So when I'm with myself, I'm usually reflecting. I'm usually thinking about, my previous experiences, what I want. I used to daydream a lot, what I want my future to be like and all of that, because I was always spending time with myself. So because I was spending time with myself, I used to flash back and remember experiences that I enjoyed experience, and I'll just laugh with myself, And that's why I'm saying that it's really very important that you be your own best friend as a single person. You love yourself. In fact, I think it's very important to know how much it takes and what it takes to be in a relationship with yourself. Do you understand? So anyways, I knew that who I ended up getting married to should be a Christian like me. We should share the same belief and be able to grow together in our faith. And that's something that I really love about my relationship with my husband. We both grew in the faith together. We both learned together in a lot of areas, right? And, I call him Mr. Right because we're perfect for each other anyway. So, and that's because that I knew early on that I don't want to get married to somebody of a different faith because I was self-aware. I knew those things that make me happy. I would probably not like it if I'm in a church and I'm not able to dance, with my husband. I'm not able to showcase my family in church. I love it. It's something that makes me happy, So yes, if I didn't spend time with myself, I wouldn't get to reminisce. I wouldn't get to experience those times that I would think about the things that matter to me. That's why I'm saying that, as a single person, it's very important that you spend more time with yourself. You love up in yourself. You get to know yourself. You understand those things that drive your decisions. Those little experiences that are clogged somewhere in your mind, in your brain, that when it's time to make decisions, those are the things that pop up and you don't even know, you're not even aware about it. So you want to know those things that drive your decision. When are you the happiest? When are you sad? What happened to you in the past? What are those things that make you happy? Spending more time to understand yourself even helps you to know what it takes to be in a relationship with yourself. Some people want flowers and roses and all of those things on Valentine's Day, but do you know how expensive your taste is? Your taste. Do you know how expensive your taste is? But when you get to know yourself, be your own best friend, you would understand what it takes to love you, right? So yes, that's the thing I feel like I would do first, before I even start to get on a relationship, before I start to date and all of that. I would get to know myself better, and I would love my singleness. Like, I would embrace it. It's not something that you need to get rid of quickly. Even if everybody else is dating around you, if they're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you should get into a relationship very quickly. So yes, I think that is, I can go on and on about this, but loving yourself is very important. So another thing I would do if I was single again is to make good, loving, fun friends. Okay, I think that a lot of times we don't embrace our singleness because we think singleness equates loneliness. You feel like, I think this is particularly true for women, right? We feel like if you are single, then you are probably going to be lonely. You don't have your own person to talk to. Everybody else has their own guy, they have their own boyfriend, they have their own fiance or whatever, and you are just there. You feel like you are lonely. You feel like you are alone in this world, and that's not true. Because you are single doesn't mean that you should be lonely. Okay, so if I was single again, I would make good friends, loving friends, friends that we share the same values, so that we will nurture other areas of our lives even when we are not in a relationship. For example, like when I was single, I had friends, like my friends till today, it's just that now I'm very far away from all of them. But the friends I made while I was in uni, when I was single, some of us were dating, some of us were single, and we used to come together and share gist. You guys, you don't want to know how much we gist and we talk about our relationships, right? And I remember we would hang out together, we'll go out on dates together. Our school was quite far from town, so we would like schedule dates that we'll go to town, we'll go and see a movie, we'll go and hang out. Like, we used to do those things together. And so I really didn't feel like I was lonely. In fact, on Valentine's Day, I remember there was a particular time one guy brought chocolates and put a car key, some guys can be very funny. He brought chocolates and he put his car key in the box of the chocolate. So when I opened the box, it brought it for me and it was in front of my friend. I opened it in front of her and she was like, why did this one put key there now? And then the guy came back and was like, oh, I forgot my key. That kind of subtle bragging. That guy is a lawyer, by the way. Go and watch my dating story. You know why I was in love, obsessed with lawyers and engineers. But anyway, I might even get into that a little bit in this video. But my point is that we all had the same vibe. So when we both saw that key, my friend was like, why did this one put key? And I was like, me too. Why? It wasn't like I wasn't dating that guy. When someone is trying to ask you out, they do nice things for you. Exactly, that was the case. So I was like, what's wrong with this one? My friend was also like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, we are all in sync. We're all in sync at the time. So we're always having fun together, enjoying time together. And when someone gets to be in a relationship, we would celebrate that person. Oh, give me gist. What is this? What is that? What is that? Those were fun times. Those were really fun times, right? And so I didn't really feel like I was lonely. Like, I wasn't even lonely at all. When I need to do those things that people who are in a relationship are doing, I could do them with my friends. And there were days that they also want to go to their own boyfriends and go and enjoy with their own boyfriends and go out and do all those date night and whatever. We were not really jealous. We were not really bothered about it, because when it's time for all of us to be together, we always maximize it and we're always there for each other. So it was a good way to celebrate with one another and also enjoy each other's company. So yes, I think that you should make good friends, people who you share the same values, so that you will enjoy those times with your friends. I remember my friends and we used to go to the church together. We participated in church activities together. There was a time we were dancing. We would go for dance rehearsals together. We would go for drama practice together. We would pray together. If one person has a dream or we have something, vision or anything, we would all go together and pray and do these things together. So we enjoyed that time together. And I also think that, friendship is the basis for any good relationship. So you practice with your friends how to be a good friend, because I don't know any good relationship, any lasting relationship that those two partners are not friends with each other, right? My husband and I, we started off as friends. Like, we used to enjoy each other's company. We used to chat a lot. We were not even in the same city. We're not in the same city, but we're in the same country. But it was like there was a distance between us, and we will chat. We used to play a lot of games over the phone. I remember, like, recently, some days ago, my friend told me that I enjoyed you and your husband's friendship while you guys were dating, and she wasn't even dating at the time, but we were very close friends. We were very close friends, you know. And I think that that's also a very good basis for a good relationship, a good marriage. You want to be friends with the person that you're dating. You just don't want any kind of guy. You don't want somebody that is just like, oh, love you, love you, love you, mushy mushy and all of that. You want to be friends with each other. You want to connect deeply as a friend, you know. Yeah, so that's what I feel like. And you get to practice when you're a good friend with your friends, you know. So I think that, don't say that I love being by myself and you don't want to go out there and make friends. No, while you are single, learn how to connect with people, learn how to make friends with people, learn how to put yourself out there, you know. Yes, I think that's another thing that helped me while I was single, and it's something that if I was single again, I will do again. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Another thing I would do if I was single again is to understand emotional intelligence. Or, yeah, I think that's how to put it, that's how to say it, right? It's emotional intelligence. You want to understand your emotions. I know that it's kind of similar to what I said in the first point, or when I said get to know yourself better, but I think emotional intelligence is something that a lot of ladies lack. And I don't mean to insult anyone. I lacked it when I was single as well, and it cost me. And that's why I'm saying that if I was single again, I would want to understand emotional intelligence. I would read up on it. I would understand what it means to be emotionally intelligent. I remember that back in the day, I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to communicate my emotions, so I held back a lot of my emotions. My friends, like, I said it, I've said it a lot, that I was just at the other end of the spectrum in terms of my emotions. I was very unforgiving. I was very judgmental. If things are not going according to my own moral standard, I would judge you. If I want to communicate my feelings, I want to express myself, and I cannot do it clearly, I would hold back, and then I would keep grudges. I'll keep grudges. I would keep malice and all of those things. And that was because I didn't understand how to process my emotions. A lot of things have happened to me in the past, like before that period of my life, you know. A lot of things have happened to me, experiences, events, shocking events have happened to me that I never processed and I didn't understand. So because I didn't know how to express it, because I didn't know how to communicate it, I held back a lot, and it entered into my relationship, my friendship, my dating. I was just like, you know what, if you cannot understand me, then I cut you out. That is not the best way to go. I needed to work on myself. I needed to understand my emotions. It was like I said earlier, that, you know, make good friends. I remember there were times that my friends and I would be like, oh, what don't you like about me? And everybody would say what we don't like about the person. And every time, what was reoccurring with my friends was that they always say I'm not forgiving and I don't communicate with them. And every time I would laugh about it, no, it's because of this. I would always give excuses. But when I started to, when I was in a serious relationship, those were the things that kept reoccurring, right? With regards to my emotions, it kept reoccurring, and my friends had already pointed them out to me, but I didn't take them seriously. You know, that's why I said make good friends. But anyway, you want to understand your emotions, because honestly, your emotions drive you. Like I said, you want to understand who you are, you want to know yourself, most especially you want to know your emotions. Why are you an introvert? Why don't you know how to communicate clearly? Why are you so unforgiving? Why are you so harsh? Why do you put up this facade that you are this strong woman when you know inside that you're very soft? Why are you doing all of these things? Like, you want to be emotionally intelligent. At the same time, aside from your emotions as well, you want to understand other people's emotions. You want to get to know the basic insights to understanding people's emotions. Like, you want to be in a relationship with another person, right? You want to be dating somebody else, so you want to at least know a little bit about that person's emotions as well, so that you guys can connect better, right? And I'm also saying this because it's very important to understand your own emotions and the things that drives you, your vulnerabilities, because you don't want to be in a relationship and the other person understands your vulnerabilities more than you. If that person is not a good person, they're likely to manipulate you, right? But if the person is a good person, they will nurture that aspect of you. They will help you get out of it, and they will help you grow as a person, right? But if the person is not a kind person, if the person is not a good person, they would manipulate that part of you because you yourself don't understand it, because you yourself, you don't know it, and you're not emotionally intelligent. That is something that I would really love to do. My own emotional weaknesses were not the one that will make people ride me, but it prevented me from truly connecting with people. Do you understand? So I think that it's very important to understand emotional intelligence, to get to know your own emotions better, and to understand how to understand people's emotions, the person you're dealing with, or when somebody is angry, what do you say? I remember that when my husband is sad, like when we're dating, when he's sad, when he's not happy, I didn't know how to comfort him. I didn't know how to connect with him at that point, because when I am angry, when I'm not happy, I prefer to be alone. I prefer to be by myself. So I assumed that that is what he wants, and I don't say anything. But then when we got to understand each other better, he pointed that out, and I realized that you can't love people the way you want to be loved. You have to love them the way they want to accept love, or they want to receive love. And that's another thing that I also learned from my friendship and my dating. So you want to understand yourself better. You want to understand your emotions. Emotional intelligence is very, very important. And just before I go on in the video, I would highly recommend my ebook to you, A Smart Girl's Guide to Freedom. I think this ebook would help you to get to know yourself better. It's a book that helps you in your self-discovery journey. And there's a part of the book that I really love, the different phases of life, and I really put my heart into it. So I would highly recommend my ebook to you. If you're single, this is a very good book to buy, to download. It's an ebook. You can download it, you can print it out if you want, and it will help you. It has some prompt questions. You can journal your thoughts, you can gain clarity. Yes, I promise you 99.9% clarity when you use this book accordingly. Okay, so yes, the link will be in the description box. And also, if you're yet to join my mailing list, I would highly recommend that you do that, because I share personal stories like this on our special Tuesdays with Yemi. I shared like interesting stories like this to connect with other women. We have over 60 women in the mailing list, so yes, you might want to join. Again, the link will be in the description box. So yes, let's get into the next point I have for you. So another thing I would do if I was single again is to build good habits and get organized. The thing is that if you're not organized as a single person, if you have bad habits as a single person, you are still going to carry that over when you're in a relationship. A relationship does not automatically mean that your life is going to be better. You are going to be perfect. You're going to be the woman of your dreams. A relationship does not guarantee you that. A relationship guarantees you companionship. A relationship guarantees that you will be heard. Somebody will understand you. It doesn't mean that you will be a better person, right? In fact, who you are as a single person will be heightened. Like, your personality will be heightened, will be more exposed when you're in a relationship. And that is why I'm saying that it's important that you get organized and build good habits. While I was a single person, I didn't really build enough good habits. For example, I have bad money habits. Like, I was a huge spender. I would spend on ridiculous things. Like, I would just spend on ridiculous things, mostly food and accessories. I wasn't really a huge fan of clothes and shoes, but I was a fan of accessories, taking care of my body, looking great, my hair and all of that. I just used to spend. I was just a huge spender. I had bad money habits. I don't know if I had, maybe the only habit I had was good intellectual habits like reading, journaling, being by myself. I think those are the only good habits I had. Other areas, I don't think I had good habits. I didn't have good spiritual habits. I just wasn't disciplined that much, So I think it's something that you want to build, because all those habits that you build when you are a single person, it would reflect when you're in a relationship. And I think that the quality of who you are as a single person will determine the quality of relationship you get into, right? If you're an organized person, if you have good habits, if you understand your emotions, if you attract the kind of person that you would like. Not that you don't just get into anyhow relationship and then 3 months down the line you realize that you don't really like this person, and then you break up, or the person jilts you, or something of sort happen. But the quality of who you are, the quality of your mind, the state of your heart, the quality of your personality, your physical attributes, your grooming and everything, it adds up to the kind of relationships that you attract, right? So I think if you're very organized, if you have good habits, those are little things that people will see about you that will attract them to you. For example, my husband used to say that one of the things that he says it a lot, not used to say, he says it a lot, that one of the things that attracted me to him was the fact that I had common sense. And common sense is not something that you just pick up by the way. And I used to remember that when he says these things like, oh, you have common sense, I used to get angry with him like, common sense, is it not common? Why is it that you're saying I have common sense, And then he went on to explain and all of that. And I, saw reasons with him, and I really understood what he was saying. And, it wasn't like I was trying to show him that I had common sense or something. It was just something that is a part of me, something that is a habit that I've had. Like I said, I built enough intellectual habits, but I didn't do well in other areas. And he used to say that I had bad money habits, I was not a spender. And those were some of the things that he also saw as well. But maybe the things he needed were more than, and I had, the things he needed and I had were better than the things that he could overlook, And yeah, so that's just what I'm trying to say, that you get to attract the kind of relationship that you want, the people that need you, the people that you need, not just relationships that you want just because you want to be in a relationship. You attract the people that you need, that you both are going to be in sync because you have good habits, you're organized, you're building your own person, you're building your personality to the kind of personality that people would want to. Like, there are some people that you don't want to be around. There's some people that you don't want to be with because of certain things that you see about them, not necessarily that they say about themselves, right? You pick up those things, your eyes see those things, and you're like, this is not my kind of person, right? So when you build good habits, when you're more organized as a single person, those are the things that will attract you to people that you need. You're just well put together, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. It just becomes your nature. So you're building your own personality to be the personality of somebody that is worthy of being in the right relationship. I think that's the word. Yeah, that's the word. And then the last and final thing I would do if I was single again is to secure the bag. Yes, I'm going to try to make more money. I'm going to learn how to keep money, how to grow money. Like I said, I had bad money habits. But what I mean is that I'm just going to try to progress in my career. I'm going to, I figure out what I want. Not just when I was single, I used to daydream a lot about what I want my future to be, but I wasn't necessarily doing much to get there. I wasn't really doing a lot to get there. I wasn't researching on how to get to where I want to be, but I had those dreams. I had those visions. I would, I wanted to see myself talking I wanted to see myself talking in an interview and they're asking me questions. I had all those details planned out in my head, but I wasn't necessarily doing anything that will make me worthy to be in that place that I want to be, so I would say that as a single person, you also want to make sure that you're progressing in your career, because trust me, when you're in a relationship, that's extra baggage. You have to worry about another person, you have to think about another person. When you're making decisions, you have to make sure that you're making those decisions together. When the other person is also making decisions, he has to consult with you as well, so you want to make sure that while you are single, you're progressing in your career, you're making effort, those things that you want to do, so that even when you meet the right person, you can determine or you can tell how that person will come into your life to fit into that dream, to fit into your career, to fit into what you want to make out of your own life, right? So it's not going to be about you losing yourself because you want to be in that relationship. It's more about you finding someone to enhance that part of you. I think that was something I also learned while I was in a relationship with my husband at the time. I remember saying it a lot, that he was the first person to say to me that I'm not living up to my potentials, that I had a lot inside of me that I wasn't really working towards. And again, I got angry initially, but then I worked towards it. I now started to challenge myself to get to know how to be that woman I wanted to be, So what I'm saying is that when you already have an idea of how to secure the bag, how to progress in your career as a single person, when you meet the person that you want to be in a relationship with, they just help you to enhance your dream, not let go of your own dreams, right? And that's why it's very important to know what you want in your relationship. So yes, I think these are the things that I would do if I was a single person. If there's any more, maybe when you share your thoughts in the comments. I would respond, or if you have any questions when you ask me, I'll probably respond. I'll reply to you. So yes, that's about that on what I would do if I was single again. Let me know in the comment section, if you're not single, what would you do again if you were single? Like, what would you advise single people to do as a single person, or what would you do differently? Like, what are some of your regrets? I don't like to use the word regrets, but what are some of the things you learned as a single person that would help other single people in the comments? And if you're a single person, let me know which of these points you resonated with. Okay, let me know which one you really liked. And if you have any questions for me, please check the description box for information on how you can reach out to me. And if you want to hear me talk more on relationship, you can check out the Truth and Tales podcast, where we talk about life and how we live it. The podcast is with me and Victoria is all about relationship, you know. She talks a lot about marriage and relationships. So yes, yeah, that's that. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends and loved ones so that we can get to reach a lot more people. Thank you so much for watching. You are amazing and I love you all. Bye.